ready for a little bit of sparkle? Then grab yourself a cuppa and join me for this. Hello, my name's Sam and welcome to my channel So That Sparkle with Sam. This is my brand new Sunday vlog, a little bit of sparkle. So where I sit down with a cuppa, in fact my cuppa is on its way, and chat about sewing, life, fabric, finished projects. Hopefully there are some finished projects today, and whatever else has been happening this week. So if you've got a tea and a coffee or your current sewing project nearby, then now's probably a good time to grab that and listen along. So this is my first proper Sunday catch up since Everyday in May, and if you are new and you've joined from Everyday in May, then you are very welcome. I thought I'd settle in and have a proper chat. And before we start, we are getting really close to 8,000 subscribers. If you are enjoying the channel and would like to help me reach that fantastic milestone, then don't forget to like and subscribe and share with a sewing friend. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it would mean the world to me to get to that next kind of milestone. I don't know why having a 0 on the end of the number somehow makes it better than any other number. I appreciate each and every one of you, but just reaching those milestones helps me to know that I'm doing a good job, and makes me feel confident about bringing out the next vlog. So yeah, if you can find it in your heart to give me a little subscribe, then please do so. So first things first, what's the main thing that's happened this week? Well, the main thing that's happened this week is this little thing. Isn't she cute? Yes, she is. So this is my stardock. So it is your little snip station, your little holder for your snips or sewing tools. I'll pop one off that isn't on the card. So when you buy them, it comes on a little card like this, and then you just pop it off. It's got a little like glue dot. You just pull it off and take the glue dot off. Whoops. And then on the back, it's got this kind of sticky pad, and they're like a command stick pad. And you peel off the paper, and then you can stick it, make sure your surface is nice and clean and dry, and you can stick it on any of your machines. It can go on a sewing machine, overlocker, cover stitch machine. There's even one on Adam's long arm, so if you're lucky enough to have a long arm, you can pop it on there. I have a couple just on my wall. So I have cutting tables with my sewing wall, and I have a couple just on there to pop tools and snips in, and they're also really handy to pop onto your pegboards, so that your snips are there all ready to go. And yeah, so the story of the stardock goes, now I was very, very kindly gifted something similar from my lovely friend Claire at Stitch Hem Sew. I always get her name wrong. I know her name's Claire. Stitch Hem Sew, her YouTube handle. And yes, her husband had very kindly got them made for us for the retreat. And it was very handy, and it was just white, just a plain white. And when I received it, I was like, this is such a clever thing to have. So I got chatting with my family about it, and it really kind of grabbed my imagination and my creativity. And I just thought, I really need to make something like this, but I need to make it more me, more sparkle, more So That Sparkle, because I think it would be a really handy thing for me to have in the sewing room, a really handy thing for me to be able to kind of sell to my students, and also to pop online for my online shop. So bear with me, I'm just going to go and grab the prototype. So I had a little chat with my lovely daughter's boyfriend, Ross, and we came up with this. So as you can see, it's got the star on. That was the most important thing. It needed to have the star on. And yeah, and it was bright pink because I needed it to be a bright colour so it pops out and you can see it. And the whole point of it is, if you are like me and you constantly lose snips, tweezers, seam rippers, loop turners, any of your sewing tools, then I wanted something that was really obvious, really bright. Ah, there it is. That's where I put it. So I thought the bright pink was great. And then I was chatting to Ross and said, well, what boundaries have I got here? Like, what different colours can you do? And that's when I discovered that you could buy something called a rainbow filament. So that's where this comes from. So we used a rainbow filament. Now, the great thing about this is it means that no two stardocks are the same. So every single one is different. They are all completely different, or a little bit different, which is just like us, isn't it? We're all a bit different, aren't we? Everyone is different. So I wanted the stardock to be unique and special. So each one is unique and special. And yeah, and so there it is. They're available on my website from today. The first batch has completely sold out. I'm now on the second batch, which is very exciting. And yeah, I'm just so thrilled by the support that I've had. You are really great cheerleaders for me. Everything that I kind of set out to do, I always get fantastic support from you guys, and I just appreciate it so much. So thank you very much indeed. So, as well as working hard on getting the stardock kind of up and out there to you, and also managing the many orders that I've had, I have actually been doing a little bit of secret sewing this week. So I've been working away on my June Sew Inspired Ambassador project. So as you know, or may not know, that I am a Sew Inspired Ambassador for the lovely Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door. And she has kindly sent me the June fabric. So it is the fabric that will be in the June subscription box, and I've made it up into a lovely pattern, but it is completely secret and I can't show you until next week. But I have to tell you, I'm really excited about it, and it's really beautiful. The fabric is beautiful, but it's really beautiful to wear, and I cannot wait to share that with you. So that has kept me really busy. I have used I have used a tried and tested pattern that I absolutely love, and I will show you properly next week. So what's been coming into the sewing room? Don't worry, I will get on to what I'm wearing, because that's going to come into my finished projects. So what's been coming into my sewing room this week? Well, I have done a cheeky little order from Beyond the Pink Door. So I am lucky enough to be going to the Pink Door summer party, which I am very excited about, on the 20th of June. And I am going with my very dear friend Tamlin, sewn on the Tyne, and I am very excited. I'm very excited about a road trip with Tamlin. I'm very excited about going to the summer party. I'm very excited about meeting Andrea again. I have met her a couple of times, but you don't really get proper time to kind of chat. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing her again and helping her out, hopefully, at the summer party. And me and Tamlin have decided that it would be nice to make a special outfit for the occasion. So I have bought some fabrics. I am going to share with you, they're not all for the special occasion, but I'll share with you the one that is for my outfit. But I'm not going to tell you what pattern I'm going to make it up in. That one I'm going to leave as a bit of a surprise. So I have bought this. Now, do you think I've got a style? I think I have a favourite. Any chance? Maybe. So yeah, as you can see, I've gone for a monochrome. I love it, guys. It's what I love. It's in this gorgeous viscose linen, so it feels so gorgeous and soft. It's viscose linen, which means it doesn't need quite as much ironing as linen, which is good because if I'm going to be sitting in the car for any length of time, I don't want to feel completely creased up when I get there. It's got this really kind of big, deep print on, and yeah, and it's got that lovely drape, but it's still got a bit of stability to it. So I think it will work really, really well for the pattern that I want to make. I have got 3 meters of this. It needs to be overlocked and popped into the washing machine so I can crack on with that project as soon as, and I hope to share that with you really, really soon. So that was my first piece of fabric from Beyond the Pink Door. Now, I saw this and at Umdenard, it was one of those ones, you know, when you play the hokey cokey and it goes in your basket, out your basket, in, out, shake it all about, and then it just stayed in my basket, and that was that. So it is this fish, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's a cotton. I think it said a cotton poplin, but it feels a bit lawny to me, and it is very fine. It is a beautiful, beautiful cotton. It feels quite nice and soft. It's just got that kind of lawny feel to it. I think so. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a shirt, because you know me, I like a shirt. And yeah, and I just like the idea of a summer shirt with fish on, and this blue is my colour through and through. So I just couldn't resist it. What do you think? I think it's lovely. So yeah, that went straight into my basket after going in and out, because I didn't need it. It wasn't a need, it was just, I want it, and I'm, you know, I love it. I love it. And then the next one is something that I've been looking for a while. So I am in the market for some double gauze blouses. I want some blouses made from double gauze. I have a lot of pajamas made in double gauze. I have a couple of tops made in double gauze, and I want like a shirt or a blouse made in double gauze, because when it gets hot, I find double gauze is the nicest thing to wear. It's just so soft against your skin. It's so cool. It's just so lovely. And I just, yeah. And I went through all of my stash, and actually I had very little double gauze in there at all. So I spoilt myself, treated myself to this lovely double gauze, and it's actually got a little cotton dobby running through it. So yeah, and it's got this gorgeous little flower motif. It's quite fine, but I want a fine fabric. That was what that was the whole point of buying it. So it is nice and fine, but I just love the little white, blue on white, you know, it gives me all of those feels, and I think it will make a really lovely blouse for the summer. And yeah, I mean, I was a little bit tempted when it came to make a pair of summer pyjama bottoms, but I don't need pyjama bottoms, and I do need blouses, but equally it would make gorgeous summer pyjamas. So that's another one that needs to be washed and dried and ready for the cutting table. Now this fabric I have bought with a little bit of in mind of my daughter. So it is my daughter's birthday in August. I would quite like to make her a top, and because it's her birthday and, you know, celebrations and things, I thought, what better to make her a little cocktail top. I have bought 2.5 meters, so I'm hoping that I'll get a top for me and a top for my daughter out of this. Now my daughter's name is Leah, and as you know, a new pattern came out this week, and the new pattern is called Leah, and that's how you spell my daughter's name as well. So yeah, So I think I'm going to make a Leah for Leah, and I'm also going to make a Leah for Sam, because, well, why not? Now, those of you that watch me regularly will know that although I am a massive Tilly fan, I love everything that Tilly does. I've watched her since the beginning. I watched her since she was on the first season of Sewing Bee. Her block doesn't really fit me. So sometimes I do find her patterns a bit frustrating. However, they are wonderful patterns. I use them all the time for my beginner sewers. I use them all the time in the studio. They're wonderful instructions. They are great patterns. They're just not necessarily made for me. I mean, how dare she, Tilly? You know, how dare Tilly not make for this brilliant body form? But, you know, alas, it's not quite made for me. So I tend to have to make quite a few adjustments, particularly bust adjustment. I always have to do a bust adjustment in Tilly's pattern because I'm quite small here and I'm a lot larger here. So I always have to do a bust adjustment. And the thing is that as I've kind of come on more in my sewing, I've realised that actually patterns aren't cheap. You know, when I first started sewing, I used to get a lot of patterns free from magazines, or I used to get lots of free patterns, or kind of the patterns were cheaper, and I'd get lots of big four patterns in charity shops, sometimes only costing me 50p. You're talking about nearly £20 for a pattern these days. And I know that if I spend £20 on a pattern, if I spend £20 on a itch to stitch pattern, it will come with the bust cup, you know, or chalk and notch. It will come with my bust adjustment already done for me. And so really it's just you know, the reason that I've gone away from Tilly and the Buttons is that I know that other patterns do that extra bit for me, whereas Tilly doesn't. But I know how to do a bust adjustment, so it is fine. It is okay. I will also need to do a bust adjustment for my daughter. So yeah, so it will be fun. So I am going to make a Leah for me and a Leah for Leah. Now, the great thing about this pattern is it comes in a couple of different options. So you can make it in this very simple shell top, which I think I will probably make for me. I think this will probably be the one for me. Then you can make the shell top into a shift dress, so you make it longer into a shift dress. And then you have this one which you put tiers on and have it as a tiered maxi dress, or you have it shorter as a peplum top. And then the peplum top comes with a tie at the side, so you can have a little tied peplum top, and I think that is the one that I'll make for my daughter Leah. So yeah, Leah, if you're watching, you're probably knowing what you're going to get for your birthday, but hey ho. So yes, so Leah will have the tied version and I will have just the plain shift version, and hopefully I shall get both of these out of this gorgeous cocktail fabric. And you know what? I mean, you can tell me, does this qualify for So Fruity? There are limes and lemons in those cocktails. I think that counts, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that might even, if I get my skates on and get it, her birthday's not till August, but if I get my skates on and get them finished soon, I might be able to enter that for So Fruity. Such fun. So yes, so there is a Leah for my Leah. So that's my fabric haul from Beyond the Pink Door and a new pattern that I've purchased. Now, I did something a bit different with the pattern this time. So I bought the pattern from Tilly and the Buttons. I'm a VIP member, which means I get to buy it a bit earlier, which I did. And I bought the bundle, so you can buy the PDF and the paper pattern. So I like to have the paper pattern in the studio so that my students can pick it up, have a look at it, you know, properly, discover the envelope and look at all of those things. And then I've always got a master copy. but I also like to buy the PDF because I'm afraid I'm not much of a tracer. I like to cut straight out, and what I like to do is I like to cut, you know, grade and cut straight out and then do the bust adjustment and kind of like make my base pattern. So yeah, so that's what I did, and that is available for Tilly and the Buttons to buy the bundle, and then it is slightly cheaper. It's not like buying 2 patterns, if you know what I mean. It's like buying 1.5 patterns. So yeah. So let's get on to my finished projects. So the first one is this one here, which is the Bellisima Blouse. So I've made a couple of Bellisima blouses. The Bellisima Blouse is by the Weekend Sewing Club, which is run by the lovely Sarah of My Handmade Wardrobe. Now the Bellisima Blouse is her pattern for the month of May, and because the month of June is now and she's got a new pattern out. So this was for the month of May, and if you join up to the Weekend Sewing Club, then you get the next month's pattern. So the pattern for this month's June, the club is closed, and it will open at the end of the month for the July pattern. However, whichever month you sew up for, you get all of the backdated patterns. So if you sign up for July, you will get this lovely Bellisima Blouse pattern. Now this pattern is one that's also you can buy separately. So if you do like this Bellisima Blouse, you can go onto My Handmade Wardrobe and buy the pattern separately, because it's one of Sarah's older ones. But with the Weekend Sewing Club, she gave you lots of little extras. So I have made this one for my mum. So mum, if you're watching, this will be waiting for you when you come across to England later in the summer. So my mum lives in Spain, and I wanted to make her a really nice lightweight blouse. So I've made my mum the version with the pleat in the back. It's a gorgeous cotton dobby, so it'll keep her lovely and cool. It's fairly sheer. It's not see-through when it's up against your skin, but it is a little bit sheer, but she will probably be wearing something underneath it. It'll be a nice little shirt to pop on over the top of her swimming costume. I'm just going to undo it so you can have a proper close-up look. I have done this with the mandarin collar, so just the collar stand rather than the full collar, and then if I kind of hold it up to the light, you can see so where the double yoke is, because it is all burritoed in. It's lovely and tidy inside, and then obviously, yeah, and then I have paired it with these gorgeous little buttons that I got from Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door. Aren't they just darling? I just think they're just so lovely, and my mum will really like that. So yeah, so not a finished project for me, so I can't show you a photo, although I think I did take a photo of me wearing it just so that I could see for size. Me and my mum aren't too different in size, so I did pop it on, and if I can find that picture, I will pop it up here. So yeah, so that's the Bellisima Blouse. I can see me making a few more of those in the different variations. So yeah, and I'll pop all the details of the Weekend Sewing Club in the box below. So my next finished make is the one that I'm wearing right now, which is the Merchant & Mills factory dress. So I've made this in some gorgeous some gorgeous fabric from the Fabric Obsession that I bought quite a long time ago, and of course it's monochrome. If they have still got some, I will pop it in the link below, but I don't think they have. What I love about this lovely, it's seemingly kind of random and just swirls, but then you just get this little heart that kind of is in. And yeah, and I don't know, I just really love it. I will pop a picture and a video of me up here so you can see it in its full glory. It's a really simple pattern. If you can see the line drawings, it is literally, it's a little bit like the Donny shirt on the top and then a skirt on the bottom. So if you were feeling creative, you could perhaps just put a skirt with a little pleat inside on the Donny shirt, and you've got yourself a factory dress. So it is nice and simple. The one thing that I will say is Merchant and Mills patterns tend to think that the people using them have got a little bit of knowledge already. They don't really write their patterns for complete beginners. So although this is a very simple pattern, and if you were a beginner, I'm sure that would be something that you would probably be able to manage. I have complete faith in all of you. However, I don't think that Merchant and Mills think of beginners in their instructions. Let's just put it that way. They tend to be quite sparse. There's a lot of kind of, assumed knowledge that goes on. And so, yeah, although I popped it together, it didn't take me very long to make at all. But yeah, there was just a few bits where I thought, oh, if I didn't know how to do this, would I be able to do it? And the answer was probably not. So yeah. A bit of word to the wise is my lovely super sparkler. So I run some social sparkle Zoom sessions on Mondays and Fridays. And one of my lovely super sparklers, the lovely Kathy with a C, she had made this dress, and she said that she wasn't keen on the way that the facing sits at the back. And so I bear that in mind when I was making mine. And I have to agree with Kathy. The way that the facing sits at the back isn't the greatest. In fact, when I'd made it all and popped it on, I did go back in. So I went back in, I took all of the facing back up again, and I clipped in. Again, it's not something that they tell you to do, but I clipped it all and graded it all and really pushed it to its limits, and I pressed it within an inch of its life so that it all sits much better. I would say it's still not perfect as it's sitting, but it's sitting much better than it was. And yeah, I just feel that, when you've got something like this with a facing, you just want the facing to sit very, very nicely. So yeah, would I make it again? I'm not sure that I would. I love it. I think it's a great dress, but I'm very lucky. I have lots of shirt dress patterns in my stash, and if I wanted a dress like this, I would probably make the Zoe dress, or I would make maybe the Sew to Grow shirt dress. There's lots of other ones that I would probably pick up before revisiting this one. Do I love the dress? Absolutely. I really, really love the dress. I think it's fantastic because the lovely Fabric Obsession fabric is doing all of the hard work. And that brings me on to my last finished make, which is a Tabitha t-shirt. Now, I haven't got it with me because it's currently on the line drying, because I love this t-shirt and I've been wearing it a lot recently because I just really love it. So the Tabitha t-shirt is now finished. I've been making it for quite a long time. In fact, I've been making it for 4 weeks, and I know you're going to say, Sam, 4 weeks for a t-shirt for you? That shouldn't take you very long at all. And no, it doesn't take me very long. But what I've been doing is I've been making it with my stretch class. So I've had a class of 4 lovely ladies who have been making t-shirts with me, and I've been making it a little bit each week so that they can see all of the processes. And I really enjoyed making it that way. And now I have my finished Tabitha Tee, and they all have their finished t-shirts. And yeah, and it's just lovely. I bought, it's made with fabric from Furs for Fabrics, and I did talk about it in my video that you may have seen on Thursday, my Fruity Thursday. So yeah, I'm just really glad to have it finished and in my wardrobe so I can actually wear it. And yeah, and you can tell I worn it because it's on my washing line right now. So here's to a little bit of thrilling sewing room sparkle. This week's thrilling purchase is an iron. Now, before anyone worries, my old iron is still working perfectly. I didn't blow anything up. Nothing was harmed in the iron department. It is all good. But with a sewing room upstairs and the studio downstairs, I was forever carrying it up and down the stairs. Now, I do have 3 mini irons. So I have the little Oslo mini travel iron. I've got a prim iron, and I've got another one, and I can't remember who that one is by. But sometimes I just want a steam iron. I just want a good big steam iron. I need one downstairs and I need one upstairs. So I bought myself one, and I'll show you the box anyway. Here it is. Now, the reason I went for this one is it has auto shut off, and basically this little bit here, auto shut off, was the reason that I bought it. It may have been because I like the rainbow colours or the pink packaging. I don't know. Why do you buy things? But for me, it was the auto shut off. So I've been chatting to my lovely friend Debs of Debs Made This. If you don't go and watch her channel, I would very much like it if you would. She is a lovely lady, and she is very knowledgeable on all things sewing, and she also loves a shirt. So if you want to go and see, some beautiful shirts, then go and check that out. So me and Debs were talking irons, and she swears by her iron that has the automatic shut off, because I think me and Debs have fairly similar brains and can sometimes be a little bit forgetful, and I don't always forget to turn my iron off. Please don't tell Mr. Sparkles. So I thought this way, because it has the automatic shut off, it just makes me feel a little bit safer. And it also has this really cute kind of LD display so that you can make the heat go up and down, and it flashes at you what heat it's on. So when it kind of shuts off, when you kind of go to use it again, it flashes what heat level it's on, and you can just kind of go up and down. So it's one of those, it's a really, really lovely iron and gorgeous to use. So now it means that I've got a lovely new iron in my studio. I've got my old iron, which will live upstairs in my sewing room, which means that I have an iron that I can take to my sewing socials. So now when we have much ado about sewing sessions, we can have 2 irons and 2 ironing boards, which will save those kind of queues for the ironing board at socials. So that was my little impromptu purchase. I wasn't going to buy an iron. I just saw an iron. I saw auto shut off, and I was like, I'm having me one of them. Now, the main reason I'm telling you this is that you guys are the only ones that will get me, but why I'm so excited about the purchase of an iron. But hey ho, I don't really iron clothes all that much, but I love ironing fabrics, and I do love a good iron. So this weekend, me and Mr. Sparkles are off to our friend's engagement party, and I don't know about you, but the weather seems to have really done me in this week, because although it's still quite warm, it's it's not as warm as it has been, and it's been very, very wet. And so the sunshine seems to be replaced by the rain, and my wardrobe planning has become much, much trickier, because I seem to be wanting to wear a different thing in the morning than I do in the evening, and maybe a quick change in the afternoon, and it's been really, really difficult. So when I was thinking about what I was going to wear for the engagement party, I'd kind of had in my mind, I'll just wear a pretty summer dress, because it's summer, it's June, it's a party, I'll just wear a pretty summer dress. But now I'm not so sure. So I thought I'd ask you guys, because why not? Now I think the party I will have had to have made a decision before this vlog goes out, but it's always good to kind of get people's opinions of my wardrobe. So what I'm thinking is I could just go for my old faithful saltwater dresses. I've got 2 saltwater dresses. I'll pop them up here that I could possibly wear. Nice and simple. They're both monochrome. I've got handbags to match. I've got cardigans that I can pop on over the top. I've got shoes. It's kind of just that slip it on, looks very pretty, and off I go. That is one of the options. The thing that I'm a little bit worried about that is they're not really that great for dancing in, and I do like a dance, and I may be a little bit cooler in the evening. Second option is my sparkly jumpsuit. So I made a Friday Pattern Company Avenir jumpsuit quite a few years ago that I wore for the Dressmakers ball, and that is my go-to kind of party outfit. And again, I've got the shoes, I've got the bag. It's, you know, it's great. It's fantastic for dancing in. It's loosey-goosey. It's very stylish, but you know, still very comfortable. And it also has that little bit of sparkle. The only downside of that one is, there is the lovely baby sparkles bringing me my tea. Oh, thank you, lovely. Oh, look at that. I have to put it down because it's very hot. The only downside of the Avenir jumpsuit is emergency toileting. So if you need to go to the toilet in an emergency in an Avenir jumpsuit, it does take a little bit of wiggling to get out of it. But, you know, I think I'll be fine. So option number 1 is one of my Saltwater Slip dresses. Option number 2 is my Avenir. Option number 3 is good old jeans and a nice top, because the people that we're going, you know, the party it is, I know will be fine if I wear jeans and a nice top. It's, you know, there's no dress code, there's no kind of, you know, jeans and a nice top is equally fine. So that is an option for me, and that's what's got me thinking, because I'm thinking, you know, there's always that secret option if you're a sewer of making something new, even though you've only got 12 hours, 24 hours until you actually go, 24 hours before you actually go to the party. So I could wear jeans and make a quick Leah top in one of the fabrics in my stash, just to check that the pattern works, and wear that to the engagement party. What do you think I should do? Do you think I should? Because I've always got the fallbacks. So should I go saltwater dress, A or B? Should I go Avenir jumpsuit? Or should I do jeans and a nice top and make myself a top and somehow get that done in 24 hours? You'll have to find out next week what I do and what I end up doing. So I will share with you next week what I end up doing. So on to a little bit of life this week. So those of you that have been watching me for a while know that I love a pub quiz, and our team go to a pub quiz every Tuesday night. And this week we won, hurrah! We were victorious. It was a cash prize this week, so that was very nice. So that's gone in my fabric fund. And I thought I'd share with you, for something that you can have a little think about for the rest of your Sunday, one of my favourite questions in this week's pub quiz. So, can you name the 5 surnames between the 6 main characters of Friends? So there's 5 surnames, 6 main characters from Friends. Can you name them? I'd love to read them in the comments, or maybe just don't put them in the comments. Maybe if you know them, just keep it to yourself and just write, I know, so that other people, so you don't spoil it for other people. I loved that question. And I knew the answer. And isn't it great when you're at a pub quiz and you know the answer? Yeah, so that was really, really cool. Plans coming up for next week is more Feeling Fruity sewing. So if you haven't watched my Thursday vlog, go and check out that. My sew inspired reveal, so that will be happening this week as well. I need to do a few finishing touches and get the photos done. Starting off my very exciting Beyond the Pink Door summer party outfit. I'm very excited to get started on that. Lots more sewing room adventures. I've got my social sparkles, which are on Monday and Friday, and then whatever else decides to be thrown my way, that's what will be happening this week in the Sparkly Studio. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's catch up. I hope you've enjoyed spending a little bit of sparkle with me. Don't forget to sparkle, and I'll see you really soon. Bye for now.